Hey there, 1111 Celestial Mystics. Happy New Year and welcome back. Today, we're kicking off 2025 by stepping through the Genesis Gateway. It's our cosmic cue to hit the reset button and start fresh, inspired by some of the oldest stories ever told in the book of Genesis. And guess what? The stars are lining up just right to help us out. Perfectly aligning with the age of Aquarius. Perfectly aligning with the age of Aquarius phase that we're exploring. Okay? And this year, we're diving into how these ancient tales and the current astrological conditions can spark some serious magic in our lives, okay? We'll also be incorporating EFT to help clear any energetic blocks along the way. So if this is your first time tuning in, thanks for joining us, okay? As we kick off the new year together like a team, okay? Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And here on this channel, we dive deep offering not just guidance on magic, tarot, and angels, but also practical techniques to harness universal law. Okay? I share EFT scripts to manage blockages to your abundance. And provide unique insights and transformative tools that are tailored to help you navigate and align with the cosmic forces. Hopefully, I enrich your spiritual journey in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Okay? So thanks again for viewing my content and unlocking the mysteries of the Genesis Gateway with me. All right? I look forward to hearing your feedback. So, now, ooh, I should have went this way. Yeah. Why call it the Genesis Gateway anyway? Okay. I'm glad you asked. You see, Genesis is not just the first book of the Bible. It's where everything begins. It tells the story of the world's creation, the dawn of humanity, and the first challenges and promises faced by humankind. Similarly, the Genesis Gateway on 1/1 invites each of us to embark on our own journeys of creation and transformation. Whether it's changing jobs, moving to a new city, or enhancing your personal growth, this gateway offers a fresh start, a blank slate where anything is possible. Okay? But there's more to it than just starting fresh. Okay? This time of year is uniquely powerful because it aligns with several astrological movements that enhance our capacity for introspection and change. So with planets like Mars and Jupiter in retrograde, as we enter 2025, we find ourselves in a celestial environment that encourages deep reflection. These retrogrades slow things down, making us look at what's working and what's not, pushing us to rethink our paths and how we might improve them. Okay? It's a time to reflect, reboot, and re-energize our plans, perfectly syncing with the spirit of new beginnings that Genesis embodies. So, this gateway isn't just a metaphor. It's our cosmic call to action. It urges us to clear out the old and make way for the new, supported by the stars themselves, giving us the clarity and energy we need to move forward. Okay? It's our annual reminder that no matter where we are in life, we always have the opportunity to begin anew, to redefine our destinies, and to transform our lives, just as the world was transformed at the dawn of creation. Okay? So as we dive into the Genesis Gateway, I also want to mention that we're moving through the age of Aquarius, and this is a really special time because it's bringing big changes in how we think, how we use technology, and how we get along in society. Okay? It's all about fresh starts, thinking out the box, and getting rid of outdated ways. Pretty much like the chapters that we'll be discussing in this video in Genesis, in the book of Genesis. Okay? So, as we discuss starting anew, and getting a handle on the Age of Aquarius vibe, can really help us tap in to these big cosmic changes. Okay? And we're going to explore this even more in an upcoming video. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay in the loop. I probably could have mentioned earlier that I'm a mystic Christian. Okay? Which basically means I approach spirituality with a deep sense of wonder and a quest for mystical understanding within the Christian tradition. Okay, so this basically means that I blend the rich spiritual teachings of Christianity with mystical practices that help me connect more deeply with the divine. And I share these experiences with those who are like me and who have been ingrained in the Christian religion and just seek more. Okay? So we seek more because the traditional church teachings couldn't fully satisfy our spiritual hunger. Okay? So my faith isn't just about following traditions. It's about actively experiencing and living out the mystical aspects. Oh, I want that parking space of those teachings daily. And exploring what the church might not teach unless you strictly adhere to their doctrine. They ain't gonna teach you nothing if they don't know that you all the way indoctrinized. All right, 1 second, guys. Okay, so now I was talking about doctrine. Okay, I made one quick stop. Okay, now we're headed to the grocery store. All right, so now don't get me wrong, because I definitely believe that doctrine has its place. Okay, I personally choose to focus on what brings me closer to the divine in a direct and an experiential way. Okay? And that's what you'll find here on this channel. Okay? Being a mystic Christian influences everything that I do. Okay? It means I explore and share traditional spiritual things in a new and transformative way. Always looking to uncover deeper meanings and connections. Whether we're diving into ancient texts or aligning ourselves with cosmic energies, my perspective is about finding the divine spark in all things and using this awareness to foster growth, healing, and enlightenment. For instance, think about how we used to get our news from the newspaper, but now we search Google. Similarly, as we move through the age of Aquarius, integrating magic into our lives requires modern interpretation and application. Okay? So I'm here to help bridge that gap. And I've had the privilege of learning practical magic from some real masters who were very by the book. But here's the thing, I'm not. And some of my teachers don't like that. Didn't like that. And some of them encouraged it. Okay? So I've bent and even broken many traditional rules. And guess what? I still found success driven purely by my intentions. And this is because we're in the age of Aquarius, where things are changing tremendously. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you still got time. Hit that button. Okay? Hit that button. Because you do not want to miss the insights and techniques that I'll be sharing in my future content, where we'll discover how to harness these evolving energies for a more fulfilled and enlightened life. Now, there are 11 major events in the book of Genesis that I utilize to navigate life daily. Yes, 11. Okay? So, these aren't just old stories to me. They're powerful lessons that help me track my progress and tackle everyday challenges and make big decisions. Okay? They teach me about resilience, faith, and the incredible power of transformation. These are lessons that we all can benefit from in today's fast-paced world. Like here in the U.S., right? Christian themes and values are everywhere. But well, it's everywhere, and it's not just in the churches. But it's in our media, our politics, and our community values. All right. Oh, damn! I missed the red. I missed the light. Okay. Like everything is ingrained in Christianity when you live in the U.S. Everything's, they said when you live in Rome, do as the Romans do, right? How else you gonna survive? If I want to go to the Dominican Republic and I don't learn their customs, their ways, especially their language, I'm gonna have a difficult time unless I have a guide there with me. I'll probably be paying, $200 for a turkey? Who knows? A lot of things go on in place in those, in those those areas, And if you don't know how to navigate, I don't know how you gonna get around. That's the same thing with the U.S. It's safe for many of us, but it's not safe for all of us. So these biblical stories give us insights into the deep roots of this culture, which is why you want to at the very least, know some of the stories. Okay? Because understanding them isn't just about religion. It's about understanding the forces that shape this specific society. So whether you're religious or not, knowing these stories can give you a better grasp of the world around you. I'm not trying to recruit Christians. That's not what I'm trying to do. Not at all. Okay? These stories are especially crucial if you want to understand the deeper and often hidden influences within this society. So you could think of it this way. If you're not familiar with these foundational stories, you might be missing out on key insights into how and why things work the way they do here. Okay? Each of these stories or events from Genesis, all right, offers valuable lessons, not just in spiritual context, but in everyday life, helping us navigate our journey with insight and purpose. Okay? Everything has a purpose. Everything has a use. Everything is of use. Okay? So, let's begin with the creation story. All right? Because this tale teaches about the power of beginnings and the potential that lies in starting something new. It reminds us that with creativity and intention, we can shape our own worlds. So as we enter the 1-1 portal, we're also working with the waxing crescent moon in Aquarius. Okay? Now this is on 1-1. All right? I'm going to talk about some of the, even though I'm not an astrologer, that doesn't mean I don't look at the alignment. And we're going to talk about exactly what is going on from my perspective during this portal, okay? And how we can utilize it. All right? So just like the universe started from scratch, we're getting a burst of innovative energy to create something fresh. And it's our chance to paint our canvas right now. So as you set your New Year's resolutions, or better yet, craft your intention statements, think about the areas of your life where you can apply this burst of creativity. Whether it's starting a new project, reshaping your lifestyle, or transforming your mindset. Use this time to initiate meaningful changes that resonate with your deepest desires. Okay? The deepest desires for you. Okay? So now, for the lesson of the creation story, especially when focusing on crafting intention statements and embracing new beginnings, the Magician Tarot card is the most excellent choice in my opinion. Okay? And this card embodies manifestation and the realization of potential, perfectly complementing the law of attraction. So by visualizing your goals and clearly, all right, by visualizing your goals clearly and aligning your thoughts and emotions, you harness the Magician's energy. And this combination turns your intention statements into powerful magnets, drawing your desires toward you just as creation emerged in the book of Genesis. When it comes to the story of Adam and Eve, we learn about responsibility and the consequences of our choices, period. Okay? Whether it's true or not. That's the lesson. We got to look for the lesson. It's not about whether it's true. Did they make this up? It doesn't matter. We get to utilize these stories in a way where we can benefit from them. Okay? That's the beauty of the mystics' magic. Okay? So whatever that they meant for evil or to use as our downfall, we're actually going to figure out how to use it to improve our life in some way. That's what makes you a powerful mystic. When people try to throw things on your path to negatively affect you, you figure out a way to use it in a beneficial way. Just like what they did with the slaves, how they made the slaves eat the scraps of the pig, and how the slaves now that's the only thing they had, right? But they survived on it. They learned how to survive on it, and they learned how to make it taste good to themselves, right? Because that's all they had. You got to use what you got, right? All right. So now, the Adam and Eve story highlights the importance of wisdom and foresight in decision making. It's all about our choices and how they shape our paths. Okay? So, with the sun in the disciplined energy of Capricorn, we're getting some serious backup to make decisions that really build our future today. All right? We don't want to waste this energy, guys. All right? So, every decision that we make can set us on a new path. So, craft your intentions carefully and thoughtfully. I'm willing to help you as well. Just leave a comment. All right? Now, consider using the Justice Tarot card as a guide in your decision-making process. This card symbolizes balance, fairness, and truth. It encourages you to weigh your options carefully and act with integrity, ensuring that each choice aligns with your highest good and long-term goals. So, alongside this, we could apply the law of cause and effect, which teaches that every action has a direct consequence. And by understanding and respecting this law, you can make more informed and positive choices that not only benefit you, but also those around you. Okay? Now, the Cain and Abel narrative warns against the destructive power of jealousy and resentment. Okay? It teaches us to manage our emotions and strive for harmony in our relationships. So, Mars retrograding in Leo is our cosmic reminder to handle our passions wisely and temper ambition, okay, with kindness. Because remember, we're in the sign of Capricorn right now. So we're going to be feeling extremely ambitious, right? Like we want to just move things forward, climb that mountain, get things done. And we have to do it in a way where we're coming from a place of love and not a place of selfishness. And Mars in Leo, ego. Mars retrograding in Leo would bring a lot of ego. Okay? So this is a heads up to keep jealousy in check and to spread positivity instead of letting that green-eyed monster get the best of us. Okay? So, this lesson can be worked on with the 6 of coins. All right? Because this card symbolizes the act of giving and receiving fairly. Something that, in my opinion, that we all should aim to master. But I know a lot of people don't. They don't want things to be fair. They don't want it to be fair. They don't want it to be fair. I want things to be fair. I like for things to be fair. But a lot of people, they don't want it to be fair. They don't want it to be fair. All right? But if you're someone who believes and being fair like me, then this card will encourage you to find the balance in your interactions and to be generous, not only with material things, but also with your spirit, helping to dissipate feelings of envy and resentment. So you'll be vibing higher than those people that don't believe in fairness. You see what I'm saying? Your energy will be higher. And they'll know it, and they'll just be jealous, and they'll just stay right on those lower vibrations because they don't want things to be fair. Okay? So now, alongside this, the law of reciprocity reinforces the importance of this balance, teaching us that what we give out into the world comes back to us. Okay? So by living and acting with a sense of fair exchange and kindness, we foster more positive and supportive relationships, reflecting the harmony we wish to see in ourselves. Okay? So, the Noah's Ark story, which is about preparing for one of the most infamous flood stories in history, teaches us about prudence and foresight. All right? It's about riding out the storm when life gets rough and trusting that the sun will come out tomorrow with a fresh start for us. So his survival and renewal symbolize hope and resilience in the face of overwhelming challenges, akin to Saturn and Pisces. Okay? And sometimes life floods us with more than we think that we can handle. And just like Noah, we learn to demonstrate resilience and find hope in new horizons. So to navigate such a turbulent time, we can consider the Star card, which represents hope, faith, and the calm that follows the storm. Okay? This card reminds us to maintain our composure and optimism, knowing that peace and stability will return. It encourages healing and renewal, just as Noah experienced a new beginning after the flood, okay? After his storm, okay? So alongside with this tarot card, we could use the law of rhythm to support our journey, okay? And this law teaches us that life is a series of ebbs and flow, and ensures us that after every hardship comes ease, helping us to remain steady and hopeful through life's inevitable cycles and changes and challenges, okay? Now, have you ever had a big plan just all fall apart? I know I have. And to be honest, it's one of the reasons why I usually opt to do things alone. That way, if it fails or just falls apart, I only have myself to blame. Right? Don't judge me. I know my weak points. And knowing is half the battle. I'm also actively working on this area. Now, the Tower of Babel story illustrates the pitfalls of overambition and the importance of communication. Okay? That's going to be extremely important at a time like this. So, utilize the energy of this 1/1 portal to get ahead of that shit. Okay? I'm giving you guys some real gems here. All right. So the Tower of Babel teaches us that cooperation and humility are essential for achieving lasting success. Now, big dreams are great, but with Jupiter retrograding in Gemini, misunderstandings can be unavoidable if we aren't able to communicate our plans clearly. All right. So to navigate this, consider the Three of Coins or Three of Pentacles. I like to say coins, but you can say pentacles, which emphasizes teamwork. All right. So this card emphasizes teamwork, planning, and competency. All right. This card reminds us to seek collaboration and value the input of others as we work towards our goal. Like I told you, this is something that I'm actively working on. Okay. So we can couple this tarot card with the law of cause and effect as well. Okay. Or the law of karma. It teaches us that every action has a reaction. So by improving cooperation, we ensure that our actions lead to positive outcomes and minimize the chance of our plans falling apart. Sometimes we're tested with tough choices, and if we stick to our goals and stay true to what we believe, we can ultimately navigate our lives with integrity and purpose, even in the face of uncertainty. This is a key lesson that I feel that Uranus retrograding in Taurus brings into focus as it shakes up what we value, pushing us to really consider what's worth our energy and what needs to change. All right. So take Abraham's journey, for instance. His demonstration of faith and obedience, even when the path was uncertain, teaches us about trust and the importance of being guided by our values and beliefs. So as we tap into this portal or step through this portal and the Genesis gateway, Abraham's story reminds us of the power of faith and commitment to our principles. And to navigate these tests and maintain our course. And the Chariot card can be a valuable guide for this, okay? Because it symbolizes determination, control, and the triumph that comes from focusing on a path aligned with your true will. My will and God's will are one. Okay? So the Chariot card urges us to harness our willpower and to assert ourselves in a world full of challenges, steering our way through with confidence and resilience. Okay? So now we can couple this card with none other than the law of attraction. Okay? Which teaches us that by focusing on positivity, by focusing positively on our goals and maintaining a belief in their attainability, we attract the necessary circumstances and outcomes to make them reality. Now, what people get hung up on when working with the laws of the universe and the law of attraction is this thing that you're asking for in alignment with your highest good? Because if it's not in alignment with your highest good, then no, you might not be able to attain it the way that you want to, the way that you desire to attain it. Remember, when we ask for something, we receive the specific download or blueprint so that we can go on the journey, because it's about experiencing, all right? So that we could go on the journey to manifest or attract that desire, that thing that we are calling in. I was watching a video about Esther Hicks. Now, she was probably like the very, very, very first universal law, or what I want to say is the first teacher that taught universal law where I actually got it. Okay? Where I actually understood it. So I remember when her husband died, well, let me not say died, when he transitioned, because she would never say that. When he transitioned, and how it took a toll on her. And people started saying, oh, well, he got cancer, and why didn't he just use that? Why didn't he, if what he was teaching was true, why didn't he just use it to cure himself? Well, number one, he might have been ready to fucking go. Did you think that? Everybody don't want to stay here in this time, space, and reality, in this dimension. That might have been the only way he was going to get up out of here. It's as if he was going through pain. Maybe he would have never left. And sometimes the universe has to create ways for us to give into the universe as well. All right? People don't like to use their brain. Okay? So, because especially when I know that what I experienced with my son father, after me and him wasn't close. We were not close at all. And when he passed away, that shit hit me so fucking hard. So I could imagine how it hit her. Like it changed, like it shut down my whole life. I had to call out of work. I was stuck in the house for 3 days straight, crying profusely over a man that I barely speak to. That I had barely spoken to in the last 20 years. I didn't know how much that his death was going to affect me. And like I said, the last 20 years, we barely speak unless it has something to do with our son or our grandson. We barely spoke. No lie. All right? And when I say that shit hit me like a fucking ton of bricks, I didn't know if I was going to be able to come up out of it. Because it wasn't only about him. It was about my son. It was about my grandson. It was so many different things. So who knows what she was thinking? Because Jerry was the leader. And now she has to take the lead. Right? Because they demonstrated masculine and feminine dancing together beautifully. And now Esther was put in a position where she has to demonstrate the masculine and feminine that she has within her. And I don't think that she was prepared for it. I don't think Jerry prepared her for that. Not psychologically. So I think that it was so insensitive for people to actually say things like that, because how do you know that this wasn't her test to see if she believed, but not for you to say, oh, well, this can't be real, or to take cheap shots at her. I just really thought that, I just said, man, this world is fucked up. This woman just lost the love of her fucking life. They did life together. They were doing business together. They built their life. I mean, it's like she lost him. Do you think that maybe she could mourn? But no, People was coming at her. I just thought that was really, really messed up. And of course she gonna be different now. Of course. Everything feel different to her now. And I think that was what she had to go through. But not for people to look at it and be like, oh, this isn't true. This isn't true. I just thought that was just like so, I felt tremendous empathy for Esther. Especially knowing what I went through. So, I couldn't even imagine what she went through. Yeah, she's going to be different. I'm different. And I wasn't even married to him. He was never even my husband. All right, so now I went off on my tangent, okay? This law aligns perfectly. The law of attraction aligns perfectly with Abraham's story of faith and manifestation, and it reinforces that our external experiences often reflect our internal beliefs and commitments. Okay? So, speaking back on Esther Hicks, don't you think that she probably went through her thing when she was banging her head against the wall and, saying, oh my God, why this shit didn't work for him? Because it was time for him to go. That's why. Hello? He was damn near 90 years old. Not to say that, we can't live past 100, because I wouldn't mind. But maybe if that's not in the plan, if that's not in the cards for you, I don't care. You ain't going to be able to. People are so fucked up, this one. Oh my God. All right. So now, as we embrace the lessons of the 1-1 portal, Abraham's journey can inspire us to evaluate our values and stay true to them. Okay? So now let's talk about the Sodom and Gomorrah story. Because regardless of its interpretation, it highlights the consequences of moral corruption and teaches us a valuable lesson about integrity. Okay? It serves as a nudge to avoid bad influences and to keep our moral compass pointing north. Okay? So the Justice Tarot card, alongside the law of cause and effect, again, the law of karma, okay, can help guide us in this endeavor. So together, they encourage us to act with honesty, ensuring that our choices lead to positive outcomes and reflect the values that we wish to uphold. So as we navigate life's challenges and decisions, these principles can inspire us to maintain a clear moral direction and foster a just and harmonious environment for ourselves and others. All right? And then we have the story about Sarah and her miracle baby. All right, I love that story. Okay, her late in life pregnancy with Isaac symbolizes hope and fulfillment of promises. All right, and it teaches us that patience and faith can lead to miraculous outcomes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Look at that skunk, baby skunk. All right. This story teaches us that we should never give up hope. Whether you're a male or a female, your miracle baby, whether it be a literal child, a dream, or an aspiration, is waiting in the ethers at this very moment, waiting for you to speak it into existence. Miracles happen every day, especially when we least expect them. So if you want to activate continuous miracles in your life, use the star card alongside the law of attraction. Okay? The star card symbolizes hope and inspiration and serenity. Okay? And it encourages us to maintain faith and focus on positive outcomes. And it also illuminates the path to your desire. Okay? You got the North Star on the card. Okay? So combine this with the law of attraction, which states that like attracts like, which means that you're going to take on the vibration of your desires. You align your energy to draw these miracles into your life. Okay? And watch the universe conspire to bring them to fruition. Now, something that me and my boyfriend was talking about today, right? So last night, so I have free Wi-Fi in my building, right? So the Wi-Fi went out maybe about like 5 a.m. and we were in the bed, and we were actually watching a TV show, watching a show on TV. And it was weird because we looked at each other like, what the freak just happened, you know? So I looked at the TV and I was like, oh, the Wi-Fi went out. I was like, maybe sometimes, but it hasn't happened in a long time, in like over a year. My landlord had to do something with the internet so that he can handle a lot of people on his Wi-Fi, right? Because the whole building is supplied with Wi-Fi. So he had to do some type of upgrade. I forgot what it's called. So he did that. So when it happened, and we haven't had this issue in like over a year. So we looked at each other like, what's going on? I was like, it must be a lot of people on the internet right now. I'll just use my hotspot. So we hooked back up the TV, not realizing that the whole building was out of power. And guess what? I was the only one that had power in the building. The only one. So my boyfriend, I think he went to his car to go grab something, and he was taking a long time to come back. So like, and I'm saying to myself like, damn, it's taking him so long to come back. So he comes back and he goes, did you know that the whole building was out? I'm like, oh, is that why the internet went down? And he's like, the internet went down. He like, but you still got power. And I'm like, he was like, you know what? He was like, Tiffany, don't start that angel stuff. I was like, I don't know, baby. I was like, I'm just saying. He was like, don't start with that. He was like, that's freaking weird, okay? He was like, it was so funny because he's out there. He's in the in the hallway because he's a mason, so he's like trying to help them get the power back on. He's like, man, text the landlord. He's looking at me like, and shaking his head like, how the freak you the only one that got power, the whole building out? I'm like, I don't know. I just wanted to mention that angels are real and they will protect you. Okay, they will protect you. That was so eerie for my boyfriend. He's just looking at me and shaking his head like, I don't know what's up with you, lady. How the freak? You the only one that got power. He like the whole freaking building out. Are you kidding me? I thought that was amazing. Anyway. When it comes to manifesting your miracle baby. Oh, that's from rent. Okay, I want to move to a better neighborhood. Okay. When it comes to manifesting your miracle baby, you want to visualize your desires, all right, and believe in its reality. And the universe will conspire to bring it into fruition, okay? So you'll either receive that or something better, or something that complements your unique journey and experience, okay? There's a video that I just uploaded a couple days ago called Your Guardian Angel, okay? And the law of attraction, I think that's what it was. I think it's Your Guardian Angel and the law of attraction that you might want to check out, okay? Because in that video, I talk about how I worked with my guardian angel and the law of attraction to attract my dream car. Now, I wanted the Model 3 Tesla, but I wound up getting something that was better for me, and I actually love it. You see what I'm saying? So the universe might not give you what you want, but it'll give you exactly what you need, and it'll be in alignment with your journey, and it'll satisfy your desire. But whatever it is that you're requesting, it won't be an empty gift. It'll be something that's fulfilling, which is better. All right? I don't think that it would be beneficial for me to highlight Sarah's miracle without mentioning Hagar's journey as well. Okay? She was basically Sarah's slave, and she became pregnant by Sarah's husband, Abraham. Okay? And Sarah was so freaking jealous because Hagar got pregnant before her that she casted Hagar and her baby, which was Abraham's son, into the wilderness. Now, despite this, in the Bible, God showed Hagar mercy and promised her that she and her child would be cared for, despite the hardships that she had endured. So Hagar's story reminds us that even in moments of rejection or despair, new beginnings are possible, but we must keep moving forward. So if you're experiencing something similar right now in your life, akin to Hagar's story of hardship, you can draw inspiration from the Six of Swords tarot card, okay? Along with the law of progression. So this is a law that I haven't spoken about on this channel yet, but I'm gonna after I complete the series of the 12 days of Christmas, we're gonna talk about this law and a couple of other laws. All right, so this is like a sneak peek on the law of progression. Okay, so the law of progression supports transition. Okay, and it emphasizes that life is a series of stages and that each challenge leads us to further growth and development. Okay, and I'll talk further about that later on. But when you couple these when you couple them together, they encourage us to persevere and trust in our journey. Okay? Knowing that each step forward is a step towards a better future. Okay? Now, Jacob is another figure who kept hope alive and never gave up. And despite facing numerous challenges, okay? So as we step through the 1-1 portal and embrace the Genesis gateway, his experiences, both his heavenly vision of the ladder and his personal trials offer profound insights. Jacob's ladder not only symbolizes the connection between the earthly and the divine, but also teaches us about the continuous interaction between our material and spiritual worlds. So this vision encourages us to view every aspect of our lives as interconnected. Okay? And Jacob's major conflicts involved his twin brother. His brother was more like his father, and their mother preferred Jacob over his twin. Okay? His father was getting old, and during those times, it was customary for the father to bless the eldest son. But his mother didn't want the blessing to go to his twin. She wanted the blessing to go to Jacob. Now, what I got from this story was that Jacob would have been the eldest had his brother not pulled him out of their mother's birth canal and entered the world before him. All right. So you will have to read the story, and maybe I'll do a video later on, where we'll actually read the story together, because that was a great story. Jacob's story is a great story. Okay. So for me, his mother actually put things back into their proper order. Okay. And from that point on, Jacob's life was one of overcoming adversity through resilience and sharp wit. That's how every story, that's what it consisted of. All right. And he later had to face what many of us find challenging: in-laws. Right? Okay. He wanted to move away and raise his family, but his father-in-law recognized the blessing on his life and did everything in his power to keep him under his rule, just to access Jacob's blessings for himself. Can you believe that? Ain't that selfish? You know how many people... Anyway, I'm sure that some of us can relate. I can relate to that story. Where people, they don't really want to deal with me. They don't really like me, but they want to benefit from my gifts and my talents. So they'll tolerate me so that they can use me. Have you ever experienced that? I'm sure many of us have, Now, to draw upon Jacob's story and life lesson, consider the strength card and the law of cause and effect again. All right, the law of karma. Okay. Jacob's lesson was to learn to act wisely and with foresight. To influence positivity, excuse me. And we each could do the same. Okay. The strength card not only depicts physical strength, but it's also about inner strength. The inner strength that is required to face life's challenges with courage and moral fortitude. Okay? So his journey demonstrates personal power and overcoming obstacles with grace and maintaining integrity. And the law of karma is relevant here because our actions and decisions have direct consequences. And we can use this tarot card and universal law to influence more positivity in our own lives. Okay? So finally we come to the story of Joseph and his comeback and rise to power story. Okay? And whose struggles included deception, family conflict, and personal wrestlings, both literal and metaphorical. The tough times that we experience are not merely obstacles, but opportunities for growth and transformation. And Joseph's endurance through being sold into slavery by his jealous siblings demonstrates the power of perseverance, faith, and forgiveness. His brothers betrayed him when he shared that he had a higher calling on his life than they had on theirs. And they thought that they could diminish his destiny by betraying him and selling him into slavery. But they actually wound up setting the stage for his eventual rise to power. What others mean for your downfall, God will turn around for your good. So, despite the harsh betrayal, Jacob's journey from slavery to becoming a ruler in Egypt embodies resilience and the unexpected ways that adversity can lead to greater opportunities. His ability to later forgive those who wronged him not only highlights his strength, but also teaches us the transformative power of forgiveness and the importance of rising above circumstances. Now, years later, he proved each of them wrong and saved them from starvation. Okay? So we can use the temperance card and the law of balance together to help with transforming struggles like this into stepping stones. All right? I need to do a video on that too. Stepping stones. How to make your enemies your stepping stones. Okay? So look out for that video. That video will be coming out soon. Okay? So, mastering the art Mastering the art of balancing emotional, physical, and spiritual aspects of life is essential for navigating challenges effectively. All right. Temperance encourages moderation and finding a middle path through the extremes of life's experiences. It teaches us to blend opposing elements to achieve harmony and greater purpose. This is particularly useful when facing conflicts or challenges, as it promotes patience, adaptability, and integration. Integration. All right. That's another one of my favorite words, integration. Resilience. Integration. Oh, I'm gonna forget my other favorite word. I got another favorite word. It's probably gonna come to me as soon as I get off the video. Anyway, so despite being sold into slavery by his very own blood, all right, and facing numerous injustices along the way, all right, Joseph never lost his sight of his values or his faith and trust in the divine. Never, ever, ever. No, let me stop. All right. So his ability to interpret dreams and wisely manage Egypt's resources eventually elevated him to a position of great authority and influence. So this story shows us that no matter how low things seem, there's always a chance for a comeback as long as you keep your head up and heart open. Okay? So now, to draw strength from this part of Joseph's journey, consider the Wheel of Fortune tarot. I also want to make note that there are people out there who probably feel like they haven't experienced, like they might have, tried to work with universal laws and they can't get the results that they see other people experiencing. And here's one thing that I learned, that this is what helped me to realize. That's because you might have a high calling on your life. Now, I'm not trying to give no excuse here, all right, as to, as if like you should be sacrificing yourself or something like that. But understand that when you have a high calling on your life, you're going to be going through some things, because you might be the generational curse breaker in your bloodline. And a lot of people, like they said, many are called but chosen a few. Okay? So if you know that you are going through a lot of things and you are actively and intentionally being intentional at doing what's right, okay, and not to a fault, okay, because I don't believe in turn the other cheek. I believe in forgiveness, but not for the other person, for myself. I do believe in forgiveness. I believe that I have to let things go so I can move forward, but that don't necessarily mean I'm going to keep on dealing with the person or even allow them to rendezvous with me. I might not never speak to them again, but that don't mean that I didn't forgive them and I didn't let it go, because how can I move forward if I still got what they did on my mind? No, I'm not gonna be able to keep on moving forward. Now, I learn from my lessons, right? I learn from my experiences. So I might not ever forget what they did, but I let it go. All right, I'm not going to allow it to hold me back or dictate how I move forward in a negative way. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to use our experiences in a wise way, right? Okay? So I just wanted to just say that, all right? So if we want to draw from the wisdom of the lessons that Joseph's journey offered us, then we could consider the wheel of fortune, okay? Because this card represents life's ups and downs and the role of fate, okay? It reminds us that every phase of hardship carries the seeds of future opportunity, and that our actions and attitudes during these times can influence the wheel, how the wheel turns, okay? And where we are on that wheel, because it's best to be in the center of the wheel, right in the middle, okay? The worst position is at the bottom. And remember, when you at the top, it's a lot to stay at that top, because when you fall down, that's why you want to be in the center. You know, when you fall down, you can really, really get hurt. At least if you at the bottom, you ain't got that far to fall. You know, metaphoric, symbolic, symbolically speaking, okay? So by embracing the lessons of the Wheel of Fortune, we could learn to navigate life's fluctuations with grace and to seize the opportunities that arise from unexpected changes, okay? So we would couple this tarot card with the law of perseverance, another law that I'm going to talk about in the upcoming days in another video. This universal law teaches us that sustained effort and resilience in the face of challenges are often rewarded with success and fulfillment, and you'll find the strength to continue through your own trials when you remember that every setback is also a set up for a remarkable comeback, just as Joseph's difficulties set the stage for his eventual triumph. Okay, so as we step through this Genesis gateway, the 1-1 portal, these ancient stories that I just shared with you, I hope that I've inspired you to make them work for you. Whether this was your first time hearing about the stories, or whether you already, heard these stories, I hope that I inspired you to look at them through a different lens, okay? Because the stories from Genesis aren't just ancient fables, all right? They're alive in the stars above us and in the choices that we make each and every day. So as we step through the Genesis gateway, think about the beginnings you want to kickstart and the challenges that you're ready to face and the transformations that you're eager to make as well. Think about what you want to create this year. And we can tackle them together, one video at a time. Each of these events from Genesis offers valuable lessons that are applicable not just in spiritual concepts, but in everyday life. Okay? It helps us to navigate our journeys with insight and purpose. Okay? So check out the comment section of this video for an EFT script to help you enter this 1-1 portal and embrace the Genesis gateway. Okay? So now it's your turn. I'd love to hear how you're planning to use the Genesis gateway. This Genesis gateway vibe to start your year. Okay? So hit up the comments with your goals or share a story from the previous year that feels like a Genesis moment for you. All right? Remember, I'm sending you so much of that agape kind of love. I will see you on the next video.